Team 3 was challenged with developing an advertising activism campaign targeting members of adult Generation Z for a pet treat brand MilkBone. Thank you all so much for coming to our campaign pitch for our Everybody Has a Dog Story campaign.
Hi, I'm Sean, and this is me and my dog Sherlock.
I'm Kelly, and this is my dog Bentley.
I'm Emma, and this is my dog Stella.
I'm Liddy, and this is my dog Gracie.
I'm Joe, and this is my dog Russell.
I'm Julia, and this is my dog Elsie.
I'm Jasmine, and this is Pinky.
I'm Lindsay, and this is my dog Bear. My teammates and I have all struggled with our mental health.
Over the past 10 years, the percentage of young adults who have reported mental distress, depression, and suicidal thoughts have significantly increased. Mental health is a prominent issue that Gen Z feels passionate about, as 70% believe that anxiety and depression are major problems among their age group, and the current social stigma around mental health has made it very difficult for these individuals to acknowledge and vocalize their struggles.
Because of MilkBone's current corporate social responsibility, we are confident that it is a perfect candidate to speak up about mental health awareness. Through its partnership with Canine Assistance, MilkBone is one of the only brands within the pet treat industry who notably offers support for dogs as well as their humans. Canine Assistance provides service animals to children and adults with physical disabilities and special needs. As MilkBone has already proven itself to be conscious of the well-being of others, it is sure to be an organic transition into the conversation of mental health. The three primary competitors of MilkBone are Beggin, Greenies, and Pedigree, none of which focus on the well-being of the dog owner themselves. Beggin works with sustainability efforts and disaster relief funds, while the CSR efforts by Greenies and Pedigree are environmentally focused through shared efforts under their parent company, Mars.
To establish a specific target audience within Gen Z to recommend, the team conducted a survey to gain insight into 3 segments. The common factor between them, their connection to dogs. The 3 segments that were analyzed were passionate pup parents, members of Gen Z who own their own dog, 4-legged family members, don't own their own dog, but have a family dog, and the comforting canines, who got their own dogs specifically with the intentions to better their mental health. 310 valid surveys and 25 in-person interviews were collected, and the 3 overarching insights were found from the testing. The first insight, every dog can be an emotional support dog. Nearly all participants agreed that their dogs are a major factor in the improvement of their mental health, and were quick to leave additional comments saying things like, "He makes every day worth it. When I was really struggling, he was the one thing that kept me going." Our second insight, CSR who? 91% were unaware of MilkBone's current CSR efforts. And our third insight, the more real, the better. Almost all participants preferred authentic, subtle, and real-life examples when shown activism in ads, saying things like, "Show real stories. The more real, the better."
After collecting this research, the recommended target audience will be a blend of 2 segments, the passionate pup parents and the comforting canines. This combination creates our target audience of canine caretakers. These individuals are in the adult Gen Z age group. They own their own dogs, regardless of if they got them specifically for mental health or not, and they're also social activists who want to openly discuss mental health. This target audience is approximately 14.7 million people.
Based on our survey results, a clear set of activism and brand campaign objectives were built. The objectives that will be met through our activism will be creating awareness of the major mental health crisis in Gen Z, as 82% of our respondents have stated its importance. Decreasing the belief within Gen Z that mental health isn't addressed enough from 52% to 40%, and increasing the percentage of the target market that knows about MilkBone's activism efforts from 0 to 20% by the end of the campaign.
The objectives built for the brand itself include increasing brand loyalty from 42 to 55%. In addition, we hope to gain at least 30% of the canine caretakers' support due to MilkBone's advertising activism efforts. And finally, the objective of increasing purchase intent from 76.9 to 85% within the canine caretakers.
After identifying the canine caretakers and building the campaign objectives, the next step was to concept test among our target audience. After concept testing 6 different message strategies, the 2 separate ideas resonated best with the audience. We suggested combining "every dog can be an emotional support dog" and "you are never alone when you bring a dog into your home" together in the message strategy. Both of these concepts received a lot of support among the target, and they felt that they were authentic and genuine. This testing also showed us that we should steer clear of offering any advice that could be skewed or perceived as medical, as this is a sensitive and serious struggle that millions deal with. Based on the combination of our concepts, the positioning statement to which we will build the campaign on reads: MilkBone will stand out to canine caretakers by positioning itself as the dog treats brand that highlights every dog's ability to support their owners emotionally and the sense of companionship provided that improves their owners' overall mental health.
After establishing our positioning statement, we moved on to testing our creative strategies. The team developed 3 different creative ideas to test, but because the results in the first round of testing were heavily skewed away from the emotional slice of life strategy, it was eliminated from further testing. The 2 remaining were a testimonial personal stories style strategy that highlighted the personal stories of dogs that have helped their owners with their own mental health struggles, as well as a lifestyle slice of life strategy that highlighted the everyday activities that pets do with their owners that in turn have a positive impact on their owners' mental health struggles. Both strategies were highly favored among participants, which led the team to decide to include both in the campaign because of the difference of only 1 vote, which brings us to our overarching campaign idea. The combination of these 2 strategies will produce the title for our Everybody Has a Dog Story campaign.
Everybody Has a Dog Story is the overarching theme which every member of canine caretakers will resonate with. Its goal is to boost engagement and create a comfortable platform to start the conversation. And this campaign will allow canine caretakers to share their own personal stories while also being able to connect by reading others. A new hashtag will also be implemented that reads #Mine'sBestFriend.
Now, moving on to timing and budget. Everybody Has a Dog Story will be an 8-month-long campaign that will launch in May of 2020 and end in December of 2020. It will make use of a pulsing schedule that alternates heavy, moderate, and light. We have our heavy months scheduled around mental health-centric holidays such as Mental Health Month in May, when we will kick off this campaign. Then we have Suicide Prevention Week in September. And finally, the campaign will run through the month that commonly hosts seasonal depression, December. The months in between are light to moderate to create a build-up to the holiday seasons.
The team allocated a budget of $490,000 with a contingency of $10,000, bringing the total budget to $100,000. Here is a detailed visual of our media flow chart where you can see the breakdown of our spending. Our campaign budget is largely dedicated to social media with additional support from streaming services and owned media. In addition, the estimated impressions total approximately 57 million, which far surpasses our target audience of 14.7 million. The flowchart can also be found on page 18 of the Everybody Has a Dog Story campaign book.
After deciding on what media types we would put our budget towards, the next step was developing our creative plan and implementing it throughout our media strategy. 18.2% of the budget was allocated to streaming services, while the majority, remaining 81.8%, was dedicated towards our chosen social media platforms, as you can see in our media mix. We decided this because that is where our canine caretakers spend most of their time.
The creative that's going to be used throughout the campaign will make use of testimonial style copy, encouraging submissions and further engagement through the embedded link within the ads, all while making use of a symbolic color palette of reds and nudes to symbolize MilkBone and greens to highlight the color for the mental health awareness ribbon.
To kick off our creative executions by medium, we are going to start with our streamed media. Beginning with Hulu, which is allocated 9.1% of our total budget, which spends around $44.5 thousand, and providing over 1 million impressions. Hulu allows for MilkBone to place 15 to 30-second in-stream ads, as well as allows for target audience funneling, which will help us easier reach our canine caretakers.
Here's an example of an advertisement on Hulu.
Some days, my depression won't let me get out of bed, but Gracie makes sure that I do. She reminds me that she needs me by reminding me never to miss a meal. She shows me that she loves me by giving me constant affection. She gets me outside to move my body and supports me through all of my mental health struggles. I know I don't have to suffer in silence anymore because I have someone that always wants to listen. Everybody has a dog story. What's yours?
Next, we have Spotify, to which we similarly allocated 9.1% of our total budget, getting us 3.7 million impressions. The Spotify advertisement will read,
The best thing I've ever done for my mental health was bringing keto home. Everybody has a dog story. What's yours? Click here to learn more.
The Learn More will lead the audience to MilkBone's website for them to read the submissions from other people or submit their own dog stories.
Now we're going to dive into our selected social media, which the majority of the campaign budget is allocated towards, as discussed before. Over half of the total budget will be spent advertising on Facebook posts, and Instagram stories. This is a $289,580 expenditure, which will provide MilkBone with approximately 26.7 million impressions, and we will feature the same call to actions as the streamed media platforms.
Here you can see a few of our executions for Facebook and Instagram advertisements. Because the goal of this campaign is to start a conversation, all of our ads will feature an owner with their dog, as well as a quote about how their dog has had a positive impact on their mental health. We continue to use hashtag #Mine'sBestFriend to encourage the target to share their stories by engaging with the links in the posts, which will then lead them to a landing page on the MilkBone website where they could share their own personal dog stories. The Instagram stories will feature the same creative elements, as well as allow the audience to swipe up to complete the call to action.
Much like Hulu and Spotify, 9.1% of the total budget will be spent on our third social media platform, Twitter. It gives MilkBone the opportunity to gain 6.9 million impressions. Twitter allows for a more conversational platform and gives the audience yet another place to interact and speak up.
Similar to other platforms, Twitter ads will feature owners with their dogs, prompting the user to submit their story. These sponsored posts will initiate conversation with users while generating traffic to the MilkBone's website.
13.6% of the budget will be used on YouTube, creating over 6.8 million impressions. Much like Hulu, YouTube allows for storytelling with 15 to 30-second ads and provides another link to take the viewer to the MilkBone website.
This is an example of what a storyboard on YouTube may look like. It features the same elements as the previous Hulu ad. So an owner with their pet talking about how their pet has helped them with their daily mental health struggles. The Everybody Has a Dog Story campaign will also feature organic media.
The organic Facebook and Instagram posts will be used for reposting user submissions that will complement their current social strategy. Taking advantage of this copy-heavy medium, Facebook provides lots of room for storytelling. And to maintain MilkBone's current Instagram aesthetic, we decided that it would be best to leave out the red and green graphics as well as the quote on the visual, which will help to maintain a more casual and authentic feel across the Instagram platform.
Twitter will act similarly by reposting and retweeting user conversations and submissions. Here's an example of MilkBone engaging with its audience on Twitter.
This campaign is also going to include the redesign of the MilkBone homepage and drop-down menu, as well as create 3 new landing pages. The new banner on the homepage, which provides a link to the submission pages, will create a dedicated space for the campaign to live and is also where our media will take the canine caretakers to submit their stories. Similar to the banner, the redesigned drop-down menu gives the audience another way to reach all things MilkBone social activism.
Because the team decided to combine both concepts in our creative strategy phase, the creation of this new blog will help us fulfill our slice of lifestyle strategy, which highlights everyday activity our target does with their dogs. This is an example of what the featured story page will look like, where submissions will rotate out on a weekly basis.
In order to track the success of the campaign, the team will conduct surveys. We'll also socially listen through the use of our hashtag, and we'll analyze engagement through participation while tracking website traffic, and we'll also track sales. This will allow us to track the awareness, brand loyalty, and purchase intent as identified in our objectives previously.
To end this presentation, we want to leave you with the dog story of one of our teammates. We hope that it encourages you to think about all of the impactful stories that you share with your own dog.
Senior year for me has been tough. Everyone always said it was meant to be bittersweet. Little did I know it would be cut short in what felt like a blink of an eye. The coronavirus has had a serious impact on us all. And for seniors, that means missing out on important milestones in our lives. The devastation that after 4 hard years of work, my family will not see me walk during graduation. The sadness I feel because I did not get to say goodbye to my friends that I've made. The uncertainty I face entering such an unstable workforce. The anxiety I get every time I scroll through social media.
The border, the U.S. is now reporting more COVID-19 deaths than anywhere else in the world.
The worries I feel for my family and those more vulnerable to this disease. The loneliness I cannot control because I'm stuck in my house all alone. The only thing that has kept my mind distracted during this time has been Bentley. Because of Bentley, I smile. Because of Bentley, I exercise. Because of Bentley, I'm reminded that it's the little things he does that keep me going every day. Everybody has a dog story. What's yours?
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our campaign pitch for mental health awareness and for MilkBone. We look forward to discussing and answering any questions that you may have tomorrow.